Hi everyone, so we're just doing some recordings of these lessons to go along with the rest of them that we've been doing for our blended learning. So this is the first of our Get the Balance Right units, and we will just talk through the slides so that you've got a record of us going through them, and then you can ask us any questions and work through the worksheets that go along with them. Okay. So get the balance right in this unit. You need to be able to tell us how to follow a healthy balanced diet. You want to find out what main nutrients are found in different food groups and how to hygienically prepare different recipes from those food groups. Okay, so this is an image of the Eatwell guide. You might be familiar with it but from primary school. Something similar, the Eatwell plate, you might have read about as well. But you should have been introduced to the Eatwell guide. Just to clarify on it though, in case anybody's not familiar, this is a snapshot of what your diet should be each day and what food it is composed of. So here you've got a large proportion should be made up of fruit and vegetables. You've got another large portion that is called the potatoes, bread, rice, pasta and other starchy carbs or carbohydrates. You've got a smaller pink section which is beans, pulses, fish, eggs, meat and other proteins. Next one down is your dairy and alternatives, and then you've got a very small sliver there that is oils and spreads. In addition to that, so not comprised to the main Eatwell guides but essential for you, you need water and liquids. And we also know that you are going to eat foods and drinks that are high in fat, salt and sugar, so we're making that part of the section as well, just as an additional area. Okay, so what we're going to do for this unit is we will go through each one of these sections. We'll look at the nutrients, we'll look at the reasons why you need a balanced diet and why you need these foods. So this is just the overall snapshot of what your daily diet should be made up of. Okay. So just to clarify on that, the Eatwell guide shows how much of each type of food our bodies need to carry out the essential jobs it does to keep us alive and healthy. You do not need to achieve the Eatwell guide at every meal, so it's not like the Eatwell plate where it was this is how much of each food at different meal times. This is over the course of the entire day. Okay, so we're going to look at each section over the next few lessons. So the one we're going to start with, probably the simplest one, is fruit and vegetables. Okay, so for each section, you first of all need to be able to name some foods from that food group. You need to give us the main nutrients that we get from this food group and explain why the body needs these foods, so in this case fruit and vegetables. So just to clarify what they are, fruit and vegetables are grown from a plant. Okay, it's an edible part of a plant that can either be eaten raw or eaten cooked. In some cases they can be eaten both ways, raw and cooked. There's some foods that you have to cook before you can eat them as well. Okay, so what defines a fruit and vegetable? A fruit is usually sweet and will have seeds in it. So if you think about things like your apples, etc. And vegetables, they're usually something called savoury. So it's not sweet, it's the opposite. It's very savoury. And they don't tend to have seeds, okay? Some of the exceptions, maybe things like peppers are a bit of a exception to the rule. But in general, they don't have seeds, okay? So just bear that in mind. Fruit is sweet with seeds. Vegetables is savoury with no seeds. So in terms of how much we need to get, so a large portion of our diet, so a third of your daily diet, should be fruit and vegetables. And that should be at least 5 portions per day, okay? So everybody's familiar with that. 5 portions are your 5 a day, okay? You should also aim to eat a different variety of fruit and vegetables as they all contain different nutrients. So don't just eat all the same ones. Don't just stick to apples if you all like apples. You need to have a variety. And in addition to that, realistically, of those 5 portions, most of the portions should be vegetables, okay? The reasoning behind you should have more vegetables than fruit is that fruit is sweet and it's got sugar. It's natural sugar, but it's still got a lot of sugar. So if you have even just 3 out of your 5 portions as vegetables, you're cutting down on the sugar, which is helping your diet as well. Okay, so you shouldn't ever have 5 portions of fruit and no vegetables. These fruit and vegetables that you go with, guys, there's so many different versions. You can have fresh, obviously. You can get frozen, tinned, dried, or juiced. You do have to be careful with your tinned and juiced, and we'll go over that briefly in a wee minute. So fruit juice, if you're looking at juice and smoothies, these can only count as 1A5 a day, and that is because of all that sugar that's in them. And because it's the juice and the smoothies, it's technically already been digested, so you're not having to use energy to get it digested. So you're just taking on loads and loads of sugar and calories without expending any, without using any to actually digest it. So fruit and smoothies can count as a 5 a day, but only one, and that's it. It doesn't count multiple times. Okay. If you are going with tinned, you have to be careful because they can end up in, this one's fine, this one's in fruit juice, but sometimes they can end up in syrup, which again adds extra sugar to your diet. In terms of what makes a portion, okay, so one portion is 80 grams, okay, or any of these. So, for example, one apple, one banana, one orange. Vegetables, heaped tablespoons. So, for example, peas, 3 heaped tablespoons. A dessert bowl of salad, so obviously a portion of a salad. 30 grams of dried fruit, 150 ml of fruit juice or smoothie. So it's just different varieties, but yeah, if it's a vegetable like sweet corn, cut up carrot, peas, it's 3 tablespoons. If it's a whole fruit, usually an apple, banana, orange, okay, and it can be a wee bit more, it just depends on the size, obviously. 7 strawberries, for example. A good way that I like to remember this, guys, is a cupped handful, okay, so if you think about it, an apple fits in a cupped handful, 7 strawberries would fit in a cupped handful, 3 tablespoons of all of these would fit in a cupped handful, okay, so a decent sized cupped handful is going to be a good portion of your fruit and vegetables. As a wee bit of extra information here, guys, you can watch the video if you get a chance. So bananas, is a wee bit about bananas. Are the fleshy fruit that are grown from a plant in warm climates. They grow in countries like Costa Rica and Brazil. You can't grow them here because it's too cold. Okay. It takes a long time to grow bananas. It can take up to 1 year from them being planted to actually get the banana that you can then transport and get eaten. Okay, so there is a wee bit of information. There's a wee video link there if you would like to watch that video and learn a bit more about bananas. So the first task that you're going to work on, guys, is name the food. Okay, so we've got a variety of different fruits and vegetables here. So you just need to tell us the name of these fruits and or vegetables. Okay. So why do we actually need fruit and vegetables? Okay, so the body needs fruit and vegetables because they provide these 3 things. They provide vitamins and minerals, fibre and water. So water is the simplest one. Why do we actually need it? We need it to stay hydrated. Okay. Fibre is excellent to help digest food. Okay, so it helps digest food, it helps keep the digestive system moving, and it prevents something called constipation. And vitamins and minerals, this is our most important one from our fruit and vegetables. And these are a variety of different things. Okay, there's vitamin A, B, C, D. There's so many different vitamins and minerals. But just as a collective, they are used to protect us against disease. So there's a wee wives' tale. If you're feeling unwell, that you got the cold, have a glass of orange juice, because that's giving you some vitamins. Okay, it's giving you some vitamins to help perk you up and make you a bit better and help fight against disease. Okay, so the main reason, vitamins and minerals to help protect against disease. Okay, so again, a little bit more about vitamins and minerals. Many fruits like oranges and strawberries are a great source of vitamin C. This is needed to heal cuts and wounds, but also helps protect against certain types of cancer. So you'll learn a bit more about this in future years, guys. But there's vitamins called the ACE vitamins, A, C and E, and they are good at helping fight against certain types of cancer. Okay. We've also got our green leafy vegetables, so spinach, broccoli, Brussels sprouts. Green leafy vegetables like spinach and kale are a great source of a mineral called iron, so you might have heard of iron. Now, iron, in terms of food, is needed to help produce healthy blood and prevent something called anemia. So particularly as teenagers, some of you might have heard this word anemia because you are quite prone to anemia when you're a teenager. So it's important that you get your green leafy vegetables. It's also good in red meat. So make sure you get plenty of iron to prevent your anemia. Okay. So task 2, you've got a few more questions. Alright, so how many portions of fruit and vegetables should we aim to have? If one portion is 80 grams, how many grams of fruit and vegetables should you be eating a day? Identify one nutrient. So remember we had that previous slide with 3 things that we get from fruit and vegetables, and then explain why our body needs it. And then the last question there, guys, you're going to complete a bar chart. Okay, so you've been given information about the favourite fruits from a class, and you need to complete this bar chart. So we've given you one just to help you, and then you've got to complete the other ones, preferably with these colour-coded sections so it's easy to read. Okay. In terms of extension task, guys, if you get the time, it's just a little fruit salad. So really nice and easy, just any fruit that you have in the house you can make a fruit salad with. Okay, so we'll just go over that briefly. We've got your kitchen routine reminder. And then in terms of your success criteria, we've already named the main nutrients we get from our fruit and vegetables. Okay, we get our vitamins and minerals, we get fibre and we get water. We can describe why the body needs these nutrients. Okay, so we've gone over that. And then in terms of the fruit salad, you need to safely chop using the claw position. So we'll go over that in a second. We've given you some top tips. Okay, so like we said, any fruit at all. It can be fresh, it can be tinned, preferably fresh so you're actually chopping it up. But you can use grapes, pineapple, melon, strawberries, apple, anything, okay? Remember to keep all your dirty peelings in a scrap basket or colander, okay? So anything that you need to peel, like your apple, make sure that you put the peelings away. And make sure you're only chopping one thing on the board at a time, guys. See, if you have too many things, it's going to get cluttered and you're more likely to cut yourself or just drop things. The next slide has your claw and bridge position, so we'll quickly go over that. Try and keep the fruit chunky. Okay, so you don't want to cut it too small. If it goes too small, it's just going to end up mushy. Okay, and you can get a bit of fruit juice to help the fruit stop going brown. So apples in particular and bananas, you'll notice them start to turn brown if you leave them out for a long time. So something like citrus juice, like orange juice, lemon juice or lime juice is the best for that. I would tend to stick with orange juice for my fruit salads personally, but apple juice will work as well. Okay, so just put a wee bit of fruit juice in just to help it stop going brown. So here's your reminder of your knife safety, guys. So there's your bridge grip and there's your claw grip. Okay, so depending what you are cutting, the bridge might be a better position for you, or the claw, but make sure that you're following each of these tips. So bridge, fingers on one side, thumb on the other. Make a tunnel for the knife to go through. It's good for dicing and cutting in half. If you're doing your claw, fingertips are curled back, your thumbs tucked behind your fingers here, and it's good for slicing and chopping. Okay, so make sure you use the correct safe method of chopping. This video here is going to show you how to segment an orange. So if you're feeling brave, guys, and you want to put some orange pieces into your fruit salad, you can do it by hand. There's a wee tutorial video on here. I won't show you the tutorial video. You can follow the link, copy the link, whatever it is you need to do. But you need to be really careful because it's a really sharp knife and you will need to hold the orange in the hand cup like this. Plus, a lot of the juice will try and come out of the orange, okay, so it will get slippy. Basically what you need to do, guys, you can see that white line there. That you want to avoid that, so what you do is you cut either side of it. Okay, so you cut down here, and then on the next one you cut in front of it, and what you'll end up with is this wee segment of the orange. Okay, so watch that video if you want to brave that, guys. It's a handy task and it's a handy skill to learn, but it is a very tricky one, so be very, very careful. Okay, so you're going to work through your tasks, guys. The extension task is there if you want to have a go at it. And as always, if you've got any questions, please let us know either through email or through a message on Teams.